than how we would normally do this in a regular season, but we appreciate it. We got the setup all here so that we can do this safely.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy. I hope all the fans at home are excited to watch us out here tonight.
Absolutely. Now, we got a chance to look at your practice schedule for tonight. What are you expecting to see out of the players here?
I appreciate you asking me that. You know, but before I go into that, I think I have to take this opportunity. You know, today I had a chance to talk with some of the members of our team following the Jacob Blake shooting, and there's a lot of raw emotion and hurt and anger on our team. You know, I think a lot of our guys wanted to make sure that, you know, they wanted to stand with the NBA as the NBA has made the decision that, you know what, today is a day to step back and stop. In the end, in talking to our guys, I think they felt like they want to do something impactful here moving forward and come together and really do something that makes a change, because something has to change. And you know, we thought about all the kids in Charlotte, you know, some of whom aren't going to school right now, virtual school, and looking forward to seeing these guys play. And our guys made the decision to come out here and play. But I just want to say this, for me as a white American male, to hear from some of our players about the numbness, the rage, the perpetual anger, the fear, I think all of us have to take a minute and think about what's going on in our country and listen. And I listened today, but it's time to take action as well. And so I'll choose to stand with our players as we move forward and do something really impactful. But tonight they felt like it was the best thing to come out here and practice and show the Carolina Panthers fans what they've been doing, because they've been working really hard. And to your question, you know, this is a traditional practice. It's not just a game. I think that hopefully the fans will get a chance to see some one-on-ones, some drills, see some team periods, see a lot of the young guys, the old guys, and I'm really happy with this team right now. Hopefully they'll enjoy this.
Well, Coach, I very much appreciate you sharing that with all of us and all of the fans watching tonight, the conversations that you and the team have had. Going back to the practice, as you just told us what we would be seeing tonight. Now, this practice is under the lights. We've got the fans watching on TV. We've got the crowd noise, the music. Does this feel like a normal practice to you, and do you want it to feel like a normal practice?
No, this feels like a game. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of excitement within the stadium. We wish all you guys were here, trust me. But I do think there's a great vibe, there's a great energy, and it just reminds you, I can't wait for this all to be over. What a great venue, what a great place, what a great stadium. And it's exciting to get out here letting us know that, hey, football's only a couple weeks away.
Coach, we appreciate you taking the time. We'll let you go, Coach, now.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Wow, all of us listen to that, Kristen, and we'll get Kurt's reaction here in a second. Right now, let's talk some offensive football, courtesy of Alarm South. Pretty much a total home makeover on offense, Kurt. Gone are so many iconic Carolina Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater and Joe Brady have a history. What do you think that'll mean for the Panthers being good early?
Well, I think the number one thing about that is, as an offensive coordinator and as a quarterback, you want to be able to be on the same page. And I think having the experience of them playing together, or coaching and playing together, I think that's going to bode very well as the season progresses. But obviously, when you have staples like C-Mac, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, I think those guys are the core guys that you can continue to rally the offense around. And then you have the additions of Robbie Anderson, and then you've built a really good offensive line. You got to see them in live, and this is the great scrimmages, these practices, and it's almost like a simulation, because at the end of the day, we don't know how many fans will be in the stands, but we know this: it's going to be live football in a couple weeks. And when you get to go live against the opposite side of the ball, you're going to be able to see from the winners and losers.
How do you see Teddy Bridgewater's skill set?
He is unbelievably calm. No matter the situation, he's very poised in the pocket. He is very, very accurate. He has a strong arm. And I think the great thing about it, he has a great aura about himself. He has a great energy. And I know a lot of the guys rally around that. Whether you be down, you could be up by 10. He has something about him that guys look to and they gravitate towards and they want to fight for.
All NFL quarterbacks can sling it. Do you see Bridgewater as being accurate?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I had the opportunity to play with him down in New Orleans. And so every single day I had a chance to go line up against him one-on-one, and there were countless days that he was able to shred us apart.
Let's take a look at some of what he's capable of. Coach Sean Payton said he's an intelligent athlete, a hard worker, can make the first rusher miss, accurate, great leader. Pretty strong words from an offensive savant like Coach Payton.
Oh, without a doubt. And I think the great thing, and what he has shown us too, is he was able to come in when Drew Brees went down and he started for 5 games and he looked at almost a Pro Bowl level in 5 games after not playing for almost 3 years. I think that says a lot about him as a person, as a player, and I think it's going to really pay off for this team.
Kristen will talk to him shortly. Bridgewater has impressed at his press conferences, and he's been very layered and open about having to learn not to try to be Drew Brees just because he's teammates with Brees, not to try to be Cam Newton just because he's replacing Cam Newton. Do you see him sort of being the authentic version of himself here with the Panthers?
Without question. And like I said, my opportunity down in New Orleans with him, you could see that. He was, now I'll say this, he was studying Drew Brees day in and day out. He wanted to understand what makes Drew Brees a great quarterback, one of the all-time greatest quarterbacks to play the game of football. And he took everything that he could, and he wants to implement it in his own way. And I think there is nothing wrong with that, because as a player, you never want to be the same person as someone else. You want to be your own person, and he wants to stand out as a great player. And the next thing that I want to say about Teddy is what he's doing for the youth. Little Teddy Bear, I think that is a phenomenal thing that he's doing down in Florida. And for all the kids around America, I think that is something that we can all rally around, and I think he's doing it by leading with his own actions.
The voice of Kurt Coleman, 6 different NFL teams in a 10-year career at safety: Eagles, Vikings, Chiefs, Carolina, New Orleans, and then Buffalo. So Kurt knows of what he speaks. How will the speed at wide receiver, Kurt, the foot speed that we're hearing about with this Panther receiving core, how will that stress opposing defenses? It's going to be
tough. And as a defense, when you're watching film, it's going to jump off the film. And then you're looking at your guys saying, all right, D-line, we need to get to this quarterback fast, because if he has time to sit in the pocket and be able to read, there's going to be a lot of guys open.
Robbie Anderson, number 11, DJ Moore, you just saw. And this is something that Coach Rhule likes to do. He likes to talk to the team at various stages, not just at the end and at the beginning, but he likes to get them coached up and get them rallied around. What message do you think he's delivering right now?
Well, I think something similar to what we had talked about and what he said down there on the field is, I think, acknowledging what has happened in America today. I don't think you can turn a blind eye to that.
We have a brand, we have a way that we play, right? We have a brand, we have a way that we play that we've been working on hard. Here's all I'll say to you guys right now. Wherever you're at, just be where you are right now. Because if not, something bad will happen. Just be where you are. Let's play 100 miles an hour. Let's stay off the ground. Let's compete at the highest level. We'll start off a team compete at the -35, ones-on-ones, going that way. Everybody on the same page? Someone giving you that blessing. Let's go. Amen. Break it down. Let's get ready. Let's go.
Now, that's awesome. I mean, I think that's something you can really get around, because the way you start the practice is, all right, guys, this is what we want to accomplish. Let's be smart. Let's play fast. Let's get after it. But at the end of the day, let's have this quick blessing, and let's go. Let's go. Let's get off and let's start playing some football.
Our mic'd up pieces tonight presented by Atrium. Kurt, this coach, Matt Rhule, has come in and somehow or another, he's been able, even though he's not been a head coach in the NFL before, he's been able to build trust and loyalty and consensus. How has he done that, in your opinion?
Well, I think when you have a coach that comes in, you have to build trust quickly. And I think he's been able to do it, and he has a consistent record of that, whether it be at Temple, Baylor, and now here with the Carolina Panthers. And I think that's why Dave Tepper trusted him. He said, I know you can come in and you can really get the trust and get the interest of our guys, and they're going to rally behind you. And I think it's going to show right here on this field.
And as we heard at the very beginning, there's much more to him than just X's and O's, W's and L's. The Coke Fan and Celebrity Zone, the Coke Team Room, looking and listening in tonight at Panther Practice, All Access presented by Daimler. Back with more after this word from your local Panthers station.
Fast pain relief. That's the power of Goody's powder. And we made Goody's fast, Goody's delicious. Goody's Cool Orange. One more way Goody's puts the squeeze on tough pain. Also try new Goody's Hangover Powder.
When lobbyists walked down these halls and through this door, they got what they wanted. Tom Tillis took $400,000 from the drug lobby and voted to let them raise prescription prices. $600,000 from the insurance lobby and voted to let them drop people with pre-existing conditions. For lobbyists with campaign cash, Tillis's door is always open, while the rest of us pay the price. Every Town for Gun Safety Victory Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Make the most of summer with Ford, America's best-selling brand, during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Shop our huge lineup of SUVs and the largest selection of truck inventory to choose from. And get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. The Ford Summer Sales Event, helping you make the most out of summer. Now get a 2020 F-150 with 0 for 72 or up to $10,185 in total savings during the Summer Sales Event. Only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Produce. At the peak of freshness. That's what you'll find at Harris Teeter's Farmers Market. At this moment, we're gathering the best produce from across America and bringing it to you. We're inspecting for freshness in the fields, on the trucks, and in our stores. Harris Teeter. What are you waiting for? We do fresh the best.
This summer, get back in the driver's seat. Your Honda dealer is open and ready to get you into a new Honda today. Like the versatile HR-V or the fun-to-drive CR-V. Visit the Honda Summer Clearance Event and get a great deal from Honda, KBB.com's 2020 Best Value Brand. Get a great deal on the CR-V at the Honda Summer Clearance Event today.
Now is not the time to delay care.
Now is the time to receive it.
Cone Health is committed to safety, and we're taking extra precautions to keep you well.
In all of our offices, doctors, nurses, team members, and patients are required to wear masks.
We're also screening everyone who enters our facilities and testing for coronavirus before any surgery or procedure.
Call your doctor or healthcare provider today and schedule your next appointment.
Cone Health. We're with you.
Need to be working to the max? BC Max. Need to be dad to the max? BC Max. New BC Max in great tasting lemonade. Nothing stronger on pain without a prescription. Be your best. New BC Max.
We want Coach Snow to go first.
Emblematic of some of the ways Coach Matt Rhule tries to break up the tedium, the drudgery, the monotony of practice, things like that, Kurt. How does that hit you as a former player?
I think that's exactly what you want. When you know you're in training camp, you know the days are going to be long, the meetings will be hard, but at the end of the day, if you can have something like that golfing outing, and KK said, did I do it right? KK, we need to get you out to the golf course.
Yeah, some of those swings were a little twitchy. Closed captioning for the Carolina Panthers television network, provided by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, providing premier eye and ENT care to North and to South Carolina. Team period going on. We go to our technical wizards, who even with a Cat 4 hurricane bearing down on Louisiana, Jake Delhomme, Hall of Honor inductee from last year, joins us. Jake, how are you and your family? You guys staying safe and hunkered down there?
We are. We're hunkered down. We have most of the things tied up. The good thing is for us, we're probably about, I guess, about 75 miles to 100 miles away from the eye of the hurricane. So we will get some wind and rain, and I'm sure there'll be some damage, but not anything like the poor people on the Texas-Louisiana line. It's going to be pretty severe. So thoughts and prayers out for those people there.
Kurt Coleman with me in the booth, Jim Szoke and Kristen Balboni downstairs, and Kurt and I were talking about Teddy Bridgewater and his skill set. Jake, what do you think the Panthers have as a starting quarterback right now?
I think the biggest thing, and listen, I haven't seen a great deal. I don't think many people have, but the more I think about it, I think it's going to be a professional distributor. And what I mean by a professional, the way he conducts himself, just the interviews, how the players are talking about him. He looks like he has complete command in the things that I have seen. And he distributes the ball very well. And I believe the talent that we're surrounding him with on the perimeter, and also Christian, he can do some good things. If he distributes the football, protects the football, he can help this offensive team move forward.
Absolutely, Jake. And Jake, I just want you to know that we are praying for you and everyone down there on the south border. Let me ask you this. If you were a first-year head coach in the NFL, and you had a guy like Teddy Bridgewater, who I feel as though is not only a capable starter, but a really good starter that is on the brink of being a Pro Bowler, how do you kind of manage the game as a head coach for this team?
Well, I think the biggest thing, and I don't know Coach Rhule's personality yet in the NFL. You kind of saw what he was in college, but he just adapted to what his teams enabled him to do at Temple and then at Baylor. And the things that I've seen so far, he's constantly coaching, and his coaches are just, they're in there. They're not just barking out instructions. They're demonstrating. They're getting it in with the guys. And I think Teddy's got to understand that, hey, you're the guy. You're my guy. I don't want this to be a stopgap. I don't want this to be a 1 year, 2 year, and we eventually bring somebody in, or if we have someone on the roster, you're my guy. Lead this football team. I think that's the biggest thing, is that give Teddy all the confidence in the world that we believe in you, I believe in you, and let's see if you can make this a 7 to 10 year run as being the franchise quarterback.
Not much escapes the eye of Jake Delhomme, especially sporting events and things that happen in the state of Louisiana. And Joe Brady had the flashy year there with LSU. What do you think he'll bring to the Panthers as the new offensive coordinator, Jake?
Well, I'm assuming he's going to bring what we saw at LSU last year, and maybe what you see Sean Payton and Drew Brees do over in New Orleans. They spread the ball around. LSU had some big-time skill people last year. 3 first-round picks just in the skill positions in Joe Burrow, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Justin Jefferson. And they have 2 more first-round picks that couldn't come out early, and they're both receivers. So he had some weapons, and they just spread you out. It didn't matter who they were playing against, and they just went in attack mode. And that started in week 1 when they played Texas. And I think you see the same thing with Sean Payton and the Saints. And Kirk can speak from his experience there. They want to attack. They want to attack. They want to be precise in the pass game. Receivers run the right depths. And we're just going to make the quarterback be efficient with the football. Don't make a dumb mistake. And give your playmakers a chance to make plays.
That's Jake Delhomme, the famous number 17. Jake, again, be safe. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jake.
All right, Jake Delhomme, Hall of Honor member, along with Wesley Walls, Steve Smith, and Jordan Gross from last year. Let's go down to our Bank of America interview zone with Teddy Bridgewater. Here's Kristen Balboni.
That's right, Teddy, thank you for joining us in the middle of practice tonight.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So the one thing that we have heard about you from all of the teammates and all of the coaches is your leadership. And I have to know, how did you develop that leadership, that sense that this is your team in the midst of a pandemic while you were joining a new team with a bunch of new teammates?
I think the biggest thing is just when you go into a situation like this, you just have to be yourself. You can't come in trying to be something you're not. You can't pretend to be the last guy. You can't pretend to be the guy from the place that you just left. So for me, it's just trying to lead with conviction and just putting my head down, proving to these guys that, I know what I'm doing on the football field, and applying it to the locker room.
And you've talked about that journey of being authentically yourself and not comparing yourself to Drew Brees in the past or anyone when you're taking over a role. How did you get to that place? We're working on this, guys. We're a little bit far away to be able to hear each other. I said you've talked a lot about your journey to being authentically yourself as a quarterback and not comparing yourself to anybody else. How did you get there?
Just from experience. I've learned a lot through my experience. My 6 years, going on 7 years in this league. Everyone is different. You just have to lead with conviction, stay true to yourself, and just know that, man, you're Teddy Bridgewater, and the other guys are who they are.
You are Teddy Bridgewater, and who is Teddy Bridgewater as a football player for the Panthers fans who don't quite know you yet?
And Teddy, I'm a winner. I take pride in winning. I'm very competitive, and I want to win at everything in life. If we're walking from here to the locker room, everything is a competition for me. Everything is a challenge for me, and I live with a chip on my shoulder, and I operate every day with that mindset. So for me, just having that winner's mindset and understanding that winners win.
You talked about being competitive in everything you do. Who are the guys you like to go out against and get competitive with on this team?
I mean, KK, he's very competitive. Yeah, he and I, we got a little rivalry going on so far. We compete often, shooting the basketball in the indoor, things like that. So it's just fun. You know, competition brings out the best in us. So whether it's competing on video games, shooting the basketball out here on the playing field, it's all going to help us become better players.
Who's the better basketball player?
Me, of course.
Okay. Well,
Can't miss twice.
I'm talking to KK a little bit later. We'll see what he says about that.
He'll tell you.
Finally, I want to ask you one last question about Joe Brady and your relationship. How important was having that foundation with him at the Saints to bring into this season when it's been such a strange offseason?
Yeah, it was very important, and it's a unique situation. You know, you have the opportunity to work with the guy who you worked with in the past, and just continue to pick up where we left things off at a couple years ago. I'm excited that he has an opportunity to call plays, and the guys are excited. We have so many weapons. He's finding different ways to get those guys the ball, and you know, as a quarterback, it just makes you smile every day knowing that you have a guy who knows you, who knows your skill set, who knows the things that you love. Then you have a group of guys who he's tuned in to and dialed with. So it's just great working with Joe. I'm excited that he has this opportunity.
All right, Teddy, I know you want to get back out there and compete, as you said, so we'll let you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mick Hurt, back to you.
That's pure class, Teddy Bridgewater. One of our favorite stadium traditions at Bank of America Stadium is the T-shirt toss, and we're still bringing that to fans tonight. Here's what you do. Head over to the @Panthers Twitter account to retweet our virtual T-shirt toss post for a chance to win a T-shirt and a gift pack spiced up by our partners at Texas Pete. Sauce like you mean it on game days with Texas Pete. More Carolina Panther football from Bank of America Stadium, all access in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Need quick professional tree service? Ingram Tree Service is one of the Triad's top-rated, specializing in tree removal, trimming, topping, stump grinding, storm damage, and grading. Call Ingram Tree Service today for a free estimate.
Wake up with Hardee's. Get closer to me $2 sausage biscuit. You too, sweet new $3 hotcake breakfast sandwich. Come on in, $4 breakfast platter. Wake up, you're happy with Hardee's 2-3 more breakfast menu. Feed your happy.
By now, we've all seen how essential our teachers really are. Good thing for North Carolina, Governor Roy Cooper has always stood strong for public schools. When the legislature tried to cut funding for classrooms to give tax breaks to corporations, Cooper put students ahead of special interests and stopped them. Now, he's protecting our schools from a new threat. Call Governor Cooper and tell him to keep doing what's right for North Carolina's kids.
What happens now? Now that the rent's due, but they've cut your pay. Now that the virus has cost lives, but your health care costs too much. Now that our president has had months, but he still doesn't have a plan. What happens now? Joe Biden knows how to lead through a crisis because he's done it before. When our economy was on the verge of collapse, Joe Biden led the largest economic stimulus in a generation and saved millions of jobs. Now Joe Biden is ready to lead us through this crisis. He knows rebuilding our economy starts with fighting the virus, increasing testing, getting more protective gear for healthcare workers, and calling for mask mandates nationwide. As president, he'll get working families back on their feet by lowering healthcare costs and helping small businesses recover. So what happens now? We elect a president who will build back better.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Seeking treatment for drug addiction, Solace Health has telemedicine visits for patients ready to get clean off drugs. Medication-assisted treatments and counseling are available in the privacy of your home through your computer or mobile device. Go to telemednc.com. Call 833-NOT-SICK. Now serving the Greensboro Triad area with treatment available anywhere in North Carolina. Solace Health, there is a solution.
Wake up with Hardee's. Hardee's new $3 hotcake breakfast sandwich. A full breakfast nestled between 2 sweet hotcakes. Wake up your happy with the new Hardee's $3 hotcake breakfast sandwich. Feed your happy.
Need quick professional tree service? Ingram Tree Service is one of the Triad's top-rated, specializing in tree removal, trimming, topping, stump grinding, storm damage, and grading. Call Ingram Tree Service today for a free estimate.
What's up? This is Coach Brown from the Police Activity League's Panthers. What's up, Carolina Panthers and Coach Rhule? Good luck on your football season.
Big ups to Coach Brown. They provided well wishes to the team after a recent school workout. Pop Warner football is not being played this year, but Coach Brown, Reggie Gilmore, Anthony Bogues are doing a great job of providing important after-school programs for kids. And this season, the Panthers and Atrium Healthcare are partnering to recognize frontline heroes like Coach Brown that have made a significant impact in serving others. Visit panthers.com/frontlineheroes to submit a nomination today. Back now down to our bunker suites, our Bank of America interview area. Here's Jim Szoke with Mark Hart.
All right, thank you, Mick. And yeah, Mark joining us now, the CEO of the Carolina Panthers. And welcome to the gallery, the bunker suites down here. Mark, a nice place you got down here.
It's a great space, and you know, we're happy that COVID didn't slow us down too much during construction, and you know, the space is probably the nicest, coolest space at Bank of America Stadium, and we're very proud.
Yeah, gallery is a beautiful place down here. I know there's some other things going on around the stadium. What else is going on for this year?
Well, there's a lot going on. You know, obviously we're getting ready for games. That first game, September 13th, and I think, as you can imagine, we're working very hard with the county and the state and the governor's office to get prepared for fans. You know, hopefully at some point a full stadium, but you know, we're getting ready for fans on the 13th. We've had lots of conversations with that, and you know, some things we can control, some other things we cannot control. But the governor's office, North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, County Health Department, the city, emergency management, everyone's been great. And we expect some news about this very, very shortly.
All right, Mark. So I know a lot of fans are chomping at the bit to know when they can get in here, as well as being on virtual Fan Fest. What about Rock Hill? What is going on with the facility, the headquarters, and the eventual training camp down there?
Well, if you haven't been down there, you know, if you get close to the site, it looks like a gigantic play site with gigantic Tonka trucks. You know, we've cleared a lot of trees and moved a lot of land. We started a few weeks ago. So it's a great big earth-moving effort right now. So it's progressing very, very well. We're going to place a major order for structural steel next 2 weeks and get ready to put foundations in the ground over the next couple of months. You'll start to see steel come out of the ground probably in January. But it's going well. COVID slowed us down a little bit, but we're racing ahead, and we'll be ready to go in May of 2023.
Sounds great. Mark Hart, thank you so much. Lots going on here and in Rock Hill. As we send it back to you, Mick.
Unbelievable how hard it is to even get a bathroom remodeled, much less build a state-of-the-art, incredible facility in Rock Hill that the Panthers will call their practice and business office home. So the offense has squeezed out a 38-yard field goal and a 48-yard field goal, but who got the better of it in that last team period, as you saw it, Kurt?
Well, when the ones versus ones, when they were out there, you could see that the offense is predicated on getting the speed. You saw a mesh route with Curtis Samuel, and he ended up getting clear past the linebackers. He caught it, and he was able to run for about 30, 40 yards. Another play where they were able to just drop back. And then, you know what? Teddy did the smart thing. He threw it to Christian McCaffrey as a check down player, and he's able to get 5 to 10 yards on that pop. And that is the smart football that you're looking for out of your quarterback, but out of this offense, I'll tell you what, the speed is something that you are seeing quickly.
How much running, or how much of a threat to run, do you see Teddy Bridgewater as being?
Well, I think if you were to ask Teddy, what type of quarterback are you? He's not saying I'm a dual threat. He can run, and he does that when he needs to. But I think what he wants to be able to do, he wants to be able to sit in the pocket, extend the plays when necessary, and be able to find his wide receivers or his playmakers with Christian McCaffrey and all of his tight ends, Ian Thomas, all those guys. His job is to be able to distribute the football properly, just like any point guard. Hey, you don't always have to score, but find the right person and get him the ball.
Right now the field is divided up. To our left from here in the press box, the offense, the defense working to our right. What are these two units trying to get done right now?
Well, right now they just finished up a quick little simulation. The offense is working on the screen game, and I think the most important thing about the screen game is being able to have the right timing with your offensive line releasing, the quarterback ratio with the running back, and they had a couple wide receiver, we call it the ghost motion, as they're running, and then they cross behind the line of scrimmage, almost like you see in Canada. So we call that ghost motion. But what you want to see out of a great screen team is the timing has to be impeccable. But also what you're seeing out of this technique is this is individual period. This is where you get to work on your craft. These guys are able to do things that they don't get to do in the practice. So when you work on your individual period, you need to take this into the 7-on-7 periods.
Christian McCaffrey down in the Bank of America interview area, and with CMC, here's Kristen Balboni.
That's right, Christian was kind enough to join us in the midst of practice. Christian, you know, new coaches, new offense. How are you getting adjusted with everything first being virtual, but now finally getting back here on the field?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, I think just having football back, you know, being out here in pads, being able to smell the grass and go out here with my teammates and have fun playing ball is, you know, we couldn't do it for so long. So now that we're out here, I've been definitely enjoying it. The new offense has been great. You know, I think we got a team who's willing to get after it and work together. So it's been a lot of fun to come in every day.
Yeah. And then when you think of yourself and your personal play, have you identified things that you want to work on going into this season?
Yeah, I think everything. You know, I mean, there's always something you can work on. You know, I've always prided myself on being a complete back and doing as much as I can, whether it's in the run game, pass pro, or pass game. So, you know, always something to improve on. And I think just taking it day to day and capitalizing on my strengths and working on my weaknesses.
And Coach Rhule has said time and time again that he is so impressed, not just with what you do on the field, but the way that you prepare. He said the young guys have no excuse not to prepare as hard as you do. What does that mean to step into a leadership role with this young team?
It means a lot. I mean, I think I've learned from some unbelievable players, and I've been fortunate enough to, you know, take stuff from all the guys that I've learned from and put them into my game. And you know, I see a lot of hardworking guys out here who are willing to do the same. So when you have that in a team, it makes it a lot of fun.
All right, before we let you go back to practice, word on the street is that your mom and your dad are going to be joining on Zoom. Do you have a message for them that you want me to pass along?
I mean, I hope you guys have like a censored thing for when my mom talks. She's got no filter, so maybe a parental control advisory before she speaks. Other than that, you know, have fun with it.
All right, thank you so much,
no
Christian.
problem. Thank you.
Lisa McCaffrey was a cutthroat soccer player from out of Florida, played at Stanford, and her dad was an Olympic track star. So the gene pool is pretty rich.
I think, well, that whole family gene pool, when you look down the lineage of that. But the great thing about Christian is I was here when he first got drafted to Carolina, and I'll tell you what, he came in as a true professional. Obviously, he learned that watching his dad for several years. But the great thing about him is he's a guy that's going to show you on the field, but he shows the preparation all throughout the week, throughout the year. That guy works harder than anybody out there.
I remember the DB saying you better be ready even in thud tempo because he's bringing it. Our Daimler drone bringing you some of our shots, the leading commercial manufacturer of commercial vehicles in the United States. Back with more after this from your local Panther station.
During this next phase, we're still being careful at American Furniture Warehouse, and we have everything you need to make your home more comfortable inside and out. So you can shop safely at our store or online at AmericanFurnitureNC.com. And as always, thank you.
What would you want to say to the people of North Carolina about coronavirus?
That it is not a hoax, that they need to start taking it for real. If I can wear goggles and a face shield along with the mask 40 hours a week, they can wear the little mask 30 minutes when they're going grocery shopping.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate your work on the front lines. You're doing God's work, no doubt about it.
This time tomorrow.
Day trips are better than daydreams.
Alexa, lock the front door.
Locking. Experience the joy of a bigger world in a highly connected Lexus vehicle. Visit your local Lexus dealer in person or online for exceptional offers at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Get 0% financing on the 2020 ES350.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Scranton is a long way from Wall Street. You won't find skyscrapers or big city bankers, just hard-working people. That's where Joe Biden's story starts. It's why he's running for president. for the backbone of this nation, working families. Donald Trump, he's in it for himself and his wealthy friends. In this crisis, we need to help workers and small businesses, and we need a president who will build back better.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
We've never been so ready for summer. Your Honda dealer is open and ready to get you into a new Honda today. Like the sporty Civic or the sophisticated Accord. Visit the Honda Summer Clearance Event and get a great deal from Honda, KBB.com's 2020 Best Value Brand. Get a great deal on the Accord at the Honda Summer Clearance Event today.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is here with great offers on a huge selection. Shop across the Ford lineup, America's best-selling brand. Now's the best time to buy. It's summer, so grab the family and head out. It's easier now during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Now get an additional $1,000 trade assist cash on select vehicles or get up to $5,250 cash back on Escape or Explorer at your Carolina Ford dealer.
During this next phase, we're still being careful at American Furniture Warehouse, and we have everything you need to make your home more comfortable inside and out. So you can shop safely at our store or online at AmericanFurnitureNC.com. And as always, thank you.
Mick Mixon, Kurt Coleman, Jim Szoke, Kristen Balboni, Panther Practice All Access Live. Honeywell brings you some of the stadium safety and health precautions, and it is serious. I mean, it is hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of hours of meetings, Kurt, to make sure that these players come into as safe and secure an environment as is possible.
I think the great thing that you've seen across the league in the NFL is when you look at the testing, they made sure that everybody was safe, but not only was safe, but they felt safe. I think that was the biggest question mark is, of course, everybody wants to play football. Everyone wants to get back to work, but is everything being managed properly? And I'll tell you what, when you look at what they've done, especially here at Bank of America Stadium, when you walk in the building, you can't even get close to anybody without getting tested, screened, your temperature checked, and then once you pass through all that, you're still wearing your mask, and everybody is spaced out 6 feet plus. So they have done a great job of making sure the meeting rooms are very far apart, so nobody is coming in contact with one another.
Let's go down to our bunker suite area. Jim Szoke with the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, Marty Hurney. Zoke, take it away.
Thank you, Mick. Yeah, we're back inside the gallery here in the West End Zone. General Manager Marty Hurney has got a great vantage point to watch practice right here. Marty, I can't imagine you'll be in the gallery very often, but a nice view to see what's going on right now.
Sure is. These things are beautiful down here. First time I've been down here, so, and probably the last, but it's no, it's been good. I've been up top watching practice, and things are going well so far.
You've seen a lot of practices with a lot of coaches through the years. What impresses you about Matt Rhule and the way he runs a practice session?
Well, I mean, everything's very precise. Everything's detailed. You know, the tempo is stressed, and everything is very, very quick-paced. And as an evaluator, it's great because there are a lot of everything's competitive, and there are a lot of team sessions, and there are a lot of sessions, the one-on-ones. You know, everything has a goal, and so when you're trying to evaluate the team, especially without any preseason games, that's extremely important.
What have been your impressions of the rookie draft class, which is all defensive, but guys like Derrick Brown, Jeremy Chin, and so forth, have they been what you expected at this point?
Yeah, so far, you know, it's early, but so far so good on all those guys. And I think we have a great teaching staff that helps those young guys come along, and you know, it's going to be interesting. Listen, until you get in the live bullets, you don't really know, but we've been very encouraged with what we've seen so far.
So for the fans out there who are watching this, they're getting their first look at practice. What are some of the more interesting position battles? It sounds like a lot of the starting jobs are pretty well taken care of. But as you look at the depth and what the position battles are, what's your eye on today?
Well, I think what you look at is, number one, I think our depth and our front lines on both the offense and defensive line have improved. And I think that that's extremely important. You look at, you know, we had a plan going into the offseason, Jim. It was basically in free agency to put as many weapons around our quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, as we could and protect him. And the acquisition of Russell Okung, the acquisition of Johnny Miller, who we picked up off waivers from Cincinnati, have really proven to be really good additions. And I think you can feel that group coming together, as well as the backups. I mean, we feel like we have 3, 4, 5 deep on backups. So, and then on the defensive line, as you say, we're extremely young going around. KK short, and he's obviously a leader of defensive line, and Shaq at linebacker. To hear Whitehead, who we picked up in free agency, has done a great job filling in the middle, and he's smart and he's tough, and our defense is young, but it's coming together and getting better all the time. So, you know, the secondary is probably the spot that has the most competition, corner, for sure, and then we're looking for guys to step up as that 3rd and 4th safety.
Offensively, we've tried to get the players and Joe Brady to give us a clue about what this offense will look like. And they all say the same thing. They say it's fun, and I'm not going to tell you anything else because they don't want to give anything away. Is there something of an advantage in the year of disadvantages for everybody that teams don't know what the Panthers are about this year with the offense and the defense?
Yeah, I mean, there's no preseason games to evaluate, but I think that, you know, I think that it has been fun. I think all 3 quarterbacks are really playing well so far in camp, and that's a plus. So I think that it's really been fun evaluating because we feel like there's a lot of guys at every position. I mean, you know, wide receiver, we have a lot of guys to evaluate. Talked about the offensive line, running back. So it's been a fun camp so far as evaluating personnel.
A lot of energy, no doubt about it. Marty, thank you for joining us as always as we send it back up to Mick and Kurt.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Oak. Thanks, Marty. Just watching the quarterbacks throw. Teddy Bridgewater has thrown with a glove for years and years now. That's not a new thing. He just likes the feel of it, slinging it around to different receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's all about being comfortable. And with Teddy and his rhythm, and if you watch how he's throwing the football, he is putting so much touch on the pass where the wide receivers are able to run underneath the football. And that's how you are able to get the catch and runs, and that's how you score touchdowns.
Now to our PA system, our public address announcer here for a special salute to Panther fans.
Panthers fans, we've missed you at training camp this summer. Wish you were here tonight. So we want to take a moment to acknowledge you, our football family.
Salute to the fans from Bank of America Stadium. All right, Joe Brady, the brain trust of this offense, is now with Kristen Balboni in our Bank of America interview zone. Kristen.
We were just getting our mask situation settled so that we could be a safe distance apart. Joe, thank you for joining us.
I can barely hear you. I'm sorry.
No, we're working with it with the music and the crowd noise. Just want to say thank you so much for joining us.
I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
You got the music playing right now.
Absolutely. Yes, I do. And I think they're bringing it down a little bit so we can do this. So Mike Davis was asked yesterday what a Joe Brady offense looks like. And he said, look, I can't give too much away, but it's fun. What can you tell us besides fun about your offense?
You know, look, I just think it's, you know, it's fast and fun, you know, and I think we're just trying to play into the strengths of the guys that we have. And, you know, I think the guys are taking it, they're making it themselves, you know, it's their identity. And I think we're showing that on the football field. And it was good to see 2 drives end in scores tonight and keep building on that.
You talked about adjusting it to the guys you have. How much of what you install is based on your personnel versus what you would maybe ideally want to do?
I think, and everything is based off our personnel. I think, you know, any coach that continues year by year just to do exactly what they've done the past year, you know, I don't think is doing the best job for their team. And I think so, you know, every day we get new players and we see what their strengths are and we try to build it around them.
Well, we spoke to Teddy a little while ago, and he just had so many wonderful things to say about you and getting to see you calling your own offense. What can you tell us about him and what you've seen from him on the field now that you're back in training camp?
Teddy, what you see from Teddy is what you get. You know, he never gets too high, never gets too low. He's as calm and collected as it gets. And so everything we always say with our offense, we want everybody to be poised, you know, have patience, and that's him. And he has I don't think anybody enjoys playing football more than Teddy Bridgewater. So it's been great to be a part of it and back with him.
I feel like he might enjoy playing as much as you enjoy coaching. I can see why you two get along so well.
Any opportunity we have to play football, I mean, life is good.
All right, Joe, I'll let you get back on the field.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Mick, Kurt, back to you.
He's so young.
I love Joe's enthusiasm for the game of football. You can tell that he genuinely loves coaching and being a part of the players and being a part of just this game of football. But not to mention, I think he is one of the smartest young coaches that this game has to offer. As you see his ascension into the NFL, but coming from the New Orleans Saints and now LSU, and he's brought everything that he has to the Carolina Panthers.
And he's going to inherit an offense that needs improvement in almost every area, sort of an un-Panther-like middle of the pack setup here, Kurt, in the NFL rankings from last year.
Yeah, and you heard Marty talk about it. You've heard Coach Rhule talk about it. You've heard Joe talk about it. You've even heard Teddy and everybody. They have surrounded Teddy Bridgewater with the speed, the weapons, everything that he needs. But you can't just have weapons without an offensive line, and I thought they have addressed those issues. So we're going to find out here. We have some one-on-one competitions going on between tight ends, wide receivers, linebackers. Everybody's going to go. And we're going to see these guys really put on full display of who's really going to win this ball game.
A lot of losses off of last year's club. Look at these iconic Carolina Panthers, many of whom still have some ball left. But if you're going to rebuild it, you got to make some tough decisions.
Without a doubt. I mean, Cam Newton was such a great player for this city, for this team. But then when you add in Teddy Bridgewater, I think that he's such a great, steadfast, committed person to this team. He's going to be a great addition. And I think hopefully Charlotte, the Carolinas will rally around Teddy Bridgewater because he's going to be a great player for many, many, many years.
And some good gains, too. Wide receiver Robbie Anderson, a key pickup. Seth Roberts has 15 NFL touchdowns, so this isn't new to him. And Russell Okung can play left tackle and protect that quarterback's blind side.
Well, you talk about that blind side being the most important side, and as a right-handed quarterback, you have to be able to protect that at all costs. And like I said, you heard Marty talk about he addressed the offensive line in the free agency periods. So you hope that when it comes lights on, full live games, those guys are going to be able to stick hard, boat up, and be able to protect their quarterback.
You like Robbie Anderson?
Oh, I've had to guard him a few times, and I'll tell you what, he has speed on top of the speed. And you see actually some of his offense or his off-season workouts, and I think this year was a special year because that's all you got to see as a lot of guys is what they did in the off-season on their own. And his training regimen, it was unreal. The guy has born gifted speed.
He's got the catch radius, and he'll fight for the football, too. Those 50-50 balls, Anderson will give you a good chance of coming down with them. Well, all right, Kurt Coleman loves defense. We're going to talk some Carolina Panther defense when we come back with All Access from Bank of America Stadium, presented by Daimler.
Summer's almost over, but you can still get epic savings now through Labor Day, only at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR with no payments for 90 days, or get up to $3,250 in savings on the Tucson. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Fresh and ready for you. That's what you'll find at Harris Teeter's Fresh Foods Market Deli Bakery. Delicious, safely prepared, and packaged fresh foods for all of your summer celebrations. Conveniently ready, whether you shop in our stores or order online. Harris Teeter, we do summer the best.
Getting hurt on the job can have serious consequences. Being injured and out of work can put everything you've worked so hard for at risk.
You need help immediately. At Daggett Schuler, we understand the complicated workers' compensation system. The insurance company is betting you don't. Our experienced workers' compensation attorneys will help you get all the medical treatment and benefits you are entitled to.
When serious matters, call Daggett Schuler at 336-724-1234.
Welcome to the Tribe, the Texas Pete tried and true. Home of the bold, flavor-loving land of hot sauce aficionados, where passion is shown one beloved dash at a time. Always with just the right amount of heat for any occasion. Go forth bravely and share some sauce. Out here, it's go Pete or go home. Texas Pete, sauce like you mean it.
It's Big Brands Bonus Month at NGB with rebates up to $100 on Goodyear, Continental, Cooper, Nitto, and more. Plus, use your store credit card and get an additional $75 mail-in rebate on purchases of $500 or more at NGB.
Oh, hey, don't mind me. I'm just thinking about clean backsides. Because at Green Mountain Gringo, we love a good clean backside. Here, let me show you. Just nice and simple. That's because we make our salsa from nothing but all natural ingredients. Ripe tomatoes, fresh jalapeno peppers, and garlic. And never a single preservative. So pick up a jar of Green Mountain Gringo salsa today and then take a look at our backside.
That is a good looking backside.
Green Mountain Gringo. Check out our backside.
When water is filtered through 10,000-year-old glacial aquifers that make it rich with naturally occurring electrolytes, it has a crisp taste like no other. Poland Spring origin, born in Maine. From the earth, for the better.
Summer's almost over, but you can still get epic savings now through Labor Day, only at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event.
Lease a 2020 Sonata or an Elantra for $169 a month, or get 0% APR for 60 months. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
This is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the first annual Hot Dog Eating Challenge here at Bank of America Stadium. With 2 minutes on the clock, 2 minutes on the clock for the championship. On your mark, get set, go! And here we go at a furious pace. That's about 6 down for Tech. Once that's done, that'll be 6 removed for Tech. Tech is moving. 3 remaining. We've got 3 remaining over here. Etor is on fire. All right, we're in the last minute. We're in the last minute, guys. How we doing over here? I'm going to take a step back from Bravion because I don't like the look in his eyes. Eyes watering and struggling here. 20 seconds. And that is time. 18 on this side and the winner. Defensive line!
The hot dog eating contest. And I don't think they ran gassers after that, but I don't think they needed to.
Well, I tell you what, there's nothing like big guys having fun and get to eat. That's a dream in heaven for them. So, look, at the end of the day, it's a competition. I think that's what Coach wanted, but they get to have some fun eating some hot dogs.
I think the winner ate 9 hot dogs. Closed captioning for the Panthers television network is provided by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, providing premier eye and ENT care to both North and South Carolina. It's All Access Live, presented by Daimler. Mick, Kurt, Jim, and Kristen are downstairs. And we're now going to bring in one of the most competitive, talented, athletic couples in the modern era of American sport, Ed and Lisa McCaffrey. Ed played 13 NFL seasons, New York, San Fran, and Denver. But Ed, how much of Christian McCaffrey's competitive zeal and physical gifts came from your wife?
Yeah, well, you know, he's his own man, but he inherited a lot from this one right here. Lightning legs is what they used to call her back in the day. Lightning legs, and she's a heck of a competitor. Trust me, if you've seen us play board games or cards or anything around here, you know that she is a heck of a competitor.
Well, it's just a little because I always win. Sorry.
Well, thank you guys for coming. This is Kurt Coleman here, and I want to say congratulations to you of raising such a fine young man. I got to meet you guys a few years ago, and I'll tell you what, there's nobody that is more proud of them than I'm sure you are. But let me ask you something. What do you guys expect out of Christian and this season for the offense?
Ed?
Well, I mean, Christian, he sets his goals. He has individual goals. I know they set team goals. He tries to, you know, be where his feet are and live day to day, accomplish little things along the way. He's got a process, just like every guy on that team has a process to get ready for the NFL season. Look, he's a competitor too, right? I mean, we talked about it. He expects to win. He expects to win championships. He expects to be the best player he can be. I know all his teammates feel the same way. The conversations I've had with him so far, he's really, really excited about what Coach Rhule has put in place. Coach Brady loves Teddy Bridgewater and some of the guys they have on offense, bringing in Anderson with DJ and Curtis. I mean, they're doing some really good things there. He talked about the tempo of the practices. You guys probably know better than I do, but the tempo of the practices, the structure, the competition, he feels like they're doing all the right things to get ready.
Okay, guys. All right, this is an off-topic question. I don't know if you guys saw, there was just a hot dog eating competition. Okay, if we took the McCaffrey household and we had a full-on competition of hot dog eatings, who is going to win?
I would.
I think she could have won today. But
9. I heard the winner had 9. Are you kidding me? That's like a snack for me.
Our buddy Joey Chestnut thinks in the 70s. So 9. I thought. By the way, is that really fun? Some of those guys had the meat sweats. That did not look fun.
That's too much. Lisa, it's Mick again. Being a parent of athletic kids is not for everybody. Is it true that you once said you're only as happy as your least miserable child?
Yes, that is an accurate statement, and it's still true, holds true to today. So, yep, that's 100% accurate. Yep, there's always, there's big highs and big lows with that many. We had 4. Cried for a girl all 4 times. We failed, but yeah, you're just as happy as your most miserable kid. Yes, it's a fact.
I also heard that you and Ed don't even agree on the circumstances under which you two met each other at Stanford.
We met at a mutual friend's birthday party and went out to a movie. Pretty Woman was the movie that we went out to see that night.
We met at a frat house, and that is accurate. It was during the day. He was at his frat house, and it was a mutual friend's birthday where we were gathering. And yeah, the rest is that's.
She said yes. She said yes. That's on her.
That's because he wouldn't leave me alone.
Listen, it's so great to see both of you, Ed and Lisa McCaffrey, and we hope you guys feel that you're part of the Carolina Panthers family.
Oh, thanks. Can't wait to get out there and root for him. Thank you.
Come see us, definitely. Ed McCaffrey and Lisa McCaffrey.
I'll tell you what, they have done a wonderful job of having some great kids. And beyond the athleticism that they have done, they are really great people to be around. And that's the type of families that I like to surround myself with.
Her older sister was a tennis star at the University of Virginia. So, I mean, everywhere you look in the family tree, there are outstanding athletes.
Well, there's a reason why I think a lot of athletes become athletes and a lot of doctors, their children become doctors. I mean, when it's in your genes, it's in your genes, and you don't fight it. You just continue to just nurture it and let it grow.
We promised you the opportunity, Kurt Coleman, to talk about this Panther defense and break it down. But the McCaffreys called in, so we got a little sidetracked on Christian, et cetera. So where does the planning begin for Phil Snow to make this the kind of defense that Panther fans can be proud of?
Well, when we had a chance to talk to him, I mean, there's so many areas from last year to this year that you're changing. You're changing from a 3-4 now back to a 4-3. But then you look at what do you have as your core nucleus. You have a Shaq Thompson, you have a Trey Boston, and then you have a KK coming off an injury. So you have somebody at every single position, and then you've built around that. And then you have Dante Jackson on the outside. So this has a great core nucleus. Now it's about learning the system. I think the one thing that Phil Snow wanted to say, and when I said, hey, Coach, when I pop on the film or when I'm watching your defense run, what are they looking like? He said they're going to be fast, they're going to be detailed, and they're going to play physical. And so far in this 9-on-7 period, when I'm seeing an inside run, they are playing fast, they're playing physical. They need to come together a little bit more and not allow some of the leakage yardage that you get with the running back. But again, when you go against Christian McCaffrey, you might have a few leakage yardage.
We just saw Derrick Brown and Dennis Daly getting a little better acquainted out there. How will the process go for Derrick Brown, the number 95 first-round draft pick, of learning what NFL O-linemen are capable of?
Well, I think the one thing that he'll have to learn, especially, is you can't always just bull rush somebody. He obviously has the force, the power, and the size to do it, but there is a learning process, understanding how is the double team coming to me? Where are the eyes of the linemen? Are they leaning one way or another? But then again, this guy is smart. There's a reason why he was drafted in the first round, and from everything that we have heard from the coaches, this guy is going to be a stud on the field this year.
Good hands, anchor strength, seems to love football. Some people said some draft nicks said they thought he was the best player available in last year's draft after Joe Burrow.
Absolutely, and I think, honestly, when you talk about the game of football, obviously quarterback is the most coveted position, but then when you're putting together a team, you have to have a great offense and defensive line. And obviously this year they said we are going to address the defense and especially the defensive line, and they have done that through the free agency and obviously through the draft.
Kurt Coleman, the NFC South is almost unfair because you got Drew Brees twice, Tom Brady twice, Matt Ryan twice. Will Phil Snow want to try to tailor his defense to somehow combat those great trigger men?
Well, I think obviously you're going to have to be able to do something of that nature. But at the end of the day, a coach is going to implement what he does best. And I think the great coaches, they're going to make sure they put their players in position to make the plays. So obviously they're going to have their core plays, whether it be quarters, whether it be cover two, are we going to run man? And obviously this is where you get the true evaluation on games like this or on days like this. When you're going live against one-on-one, you're going to find out what are we best at, guys. And then when they watch this film, they're going to say, look, we need to go to more zone. We need to play more man because we're doing some great things. Obviously, you don't get the game, preseason games, but this is where you have to simulate it as best as possible.
Our Daimler drone with a good shot of the drill that's going on now. And we'll get Kurt to talk more about it when we come back. But first, these words from your local Panther station.
I wear a mask for them.
We wear a mask for you.
I wear a mask for her.
We wear a mask for you.
Fast pain relief. That's the power of Goody's powder. And we made Goody's fast, Goody's delicious. Goody's Cool Orange. One more way Goody's puts the squeeze on tough pain. Also try new Goody's Hangover Powder.
Lisa, this is a message from the Sheetz Curbside Broadcast System. Use your Sheetz app, Lisa. Order dinner for you and Jeff and the kids. And throw in your favorite chips and soda. Why not? Good curbside handoff. Sweet job, everyone. The Sheetz Curbside Broadcast System thanks you. Sheetz run and done.
Order on the app to be entered in the Daily Grand Sweepstakes. Official rules at Sheetz.com.
Dear Town Bank.
During difficult times like these, having a bank like Town makes a world of difference.
Your efforts helping us through the Paycheck Protection Loan process were remarkable.
Emails, letters, cards, hundreds of them. To thank the Town bankers who work day and night to process thousands of loans for local businesses and protect over 130,000 jobs.
You saved our employees. You saved our business.
These are extraordinary times. You deserve an extraordinary bank.
This summer, get back in the driver's seat. Your Honda dealer is open and ready to get you into a new Honda today. Like the versatile HR-V or the fun-to-drive CR-V. Visit the Honda Summer Clearance Event and get a great deal from Honda, KBB.com's 2020 Best Value Brand. Get a great deal on the HR-V at the Honda Summer Clearance Event today.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is here with great offers on a huge selection. Shop across the Ford lineup, America's best-selling brand. Now's the best time to buy. It's summer, so grab the family and head out. It's easier now during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Now get an additional $1,000 trade assist cash on select vehicles or get up to $5,250 cash back on Escape or Explorer at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Need to be working to the max? BC Max. Need to be dad to the max? BC Max. New BC Max in great tasting lemonade. Nothing stronger on pain without a prescription. Be your best. New BC Max.
I wear a mask for him.
I wear a mask for them.
We wear a mask for you.
We wear a mask for you.
Head coach Devontae Holloman of South Point High School. Wanted to wish Coach Rhule and the Panthers good luck this season. Keep pounding.
Hi, I'm Scott Chadwick, the head football coach at Myers Park High School. And on behalf of the entire Mustang football family, we'd like to wish Coach Rhule and the Carolina Panthers the best of luck in this 2020 football season. We're all very excited to get to see football this fall, and we know that the Panthers will make Charlotte very proud. Go Panthers, keep pounding.
The Stallions and the Mustangs were two great high school programs, by the way. We're supposed to play a game, the inaugural Keep Pounding High School Football Classic here at Bank of America Stadium this year. It did get canceled, but the Panthers are very proud of those two programs and all of the high school programs around the two-state area. Isn't that fantastic? Look at all the Coke fan, team room fans, Carolina Panthers fans. We love you.
I'll tell you what, it's so special being around Charlotte and all the Carolinas. The fans truly love their guys, and they want to see football as much as anybody. And the one thing, too, is I know everybody wants football to happen. You know, I have a chance and an opportunity to be able to coach at Charlotte Latin, and I'll tell you what, those kids work hard, and I know everybody is doing their best, and I'm excited, and I hope that they're able to get out there and play.
Kirk Coleman, for those who do not know, the defense, the starting defense under Coach Matt Rhule wears black jerseys. That's an honor that he wants them to compete for, to wear the black jerseys at practice. So Harris Teeter presents a look at the 2020 draft, and for the first time since '67, Carolina goes an NFL team goes 7 for 7, all defensive players in the draft.
Well, I think that just speaks to what they were trying to build. Obviously, they were able to touch up on the offensive side throughout free agency. They got Teddy, they got Robbie, they got Russell Okung. So they hit their guys on offense through the free agency. This is the defensive draft, and obviously, when you have a deep draft in defensive guys, you got to go get them. And a lot of times, a lot of GMs, they say, what is the best available player? And like you and I were talking about earlier, some people had Derrick Brown as the #1 guy on the board. So when it fell to them, I'm sure they were like licking their chops saying, we can't wait to draft him. But then I've heard some great things about all these other guys. When you have Gross Matos and then Jeremy Chin, all these guys that have really shown up as rookies, I've heard some really great things, and I'm excited to watch them out there tonight.
Exactly, and there's some rookies wearing the black jerseys to signify that right now they're in the starting lineup. What does Jeremy Chin bring to the game? He strikes me as kind of an old school player that you would identify with.
Well, I'll tell you what, the one thing that everybody that I've talked to is his size and his speed. When you look at somebody who is 6'3", 220, and that can run fast and cover tight ends, wide receivers, match up against the running backs, that is a special player that you have to be able to find a position for. Obviously, with this defense, and you're looking at, obviously, Trey Boston is the centerfold. He is the cornerstone of that secondary. As we like to call him, he is the new CEO of Thieves Avenue. But then you have Justin Burrows, who came in through free agency, and then you have the other pieces. Well, when you have a guy like Jeremy Chin, let's find a way to get him on the field and make plays, because he is one of those special players that can do a lot.
That's Chin right there. We also saw Troy Pride Jr., number 25, with a black jersey on. Jeremy Chin has been talked about as maybe slotting in at big nickel. What is that?
Well, if anybody remembers, back in 2015, we drafted a guy named Shaq Thompson coming out of the University of Washington, and we needed to find a way to get him on the field. And so what we were able to do, we created a package called Buffalo. And Buffalo was essentially Shaq Thompson. You get to be the nickel. You get to line up against wide receivers at the slot. So he would have to cover Curtis Samuel, the Julian Edelmans of the league. But then obviously if they go into a base personnel. And the great thing about this game of football is offenses will try to flip you in and out. So if they see another DB out there, they may say, let's go run the ball. Can this guy tackle? And I think by looking at him and watching him play so far, this guy's willing and able to tackle.
All right, let us know what you're seeing here from Chin. This is 11 on 11.
So they were just running the cover 2. So he was just running into his hook zone drop. And the great thing about the cover 2 in a lot of the zones is you want to be able to get into your drops as fast as possible, to be able to keep your eyes on the formation, the quarterback, see what kind of route concepts that you're getting, and be able to break fast. I saw that drill earlier today. I don't know if you watched them down in the other end zone. They were dropping into their breaks, looking at the quarterback, and then breaking and trying to get an interception. So when you have an opportunity to call zone, you want you guys to be able to get back, get set up, and break on the football as fast as possible.
Quarterback's eye view of that Panther defense. Adarius Taylor, formerly Adarius Glanton, number 47, hands on his knees. Changed his name in the offseason. P.J. Walker gets junctioned, and that'll go as a sack.
I'm glad that you just talked about Adarius Taylor, because I don't know if anyone watched what he was able to do. He attacked the line of scrimmage. I tell my guys a lot, you want to be able to eat the space up between you and him. And he was able to meet him at the line of scrimmage. And then what the running back wants to do is catch you before you get to the line of scrimmage and make you go one way or the other. And a lot of times they get a choice route, so they're able to break off any type of leverage. But when you're able to make the contact at the line of scrimmage, you're forcing them into where you want to go. And that's how you win one-on-ones.
Coach Rhule likes Adarius Taylor, calls him AG from Adarius Glanton, but loves his kid's toughness and work habits.
I had an opportunity when we first came here in 2015. He was a special teams guy. He was a guy that ran fast. He was a guy that made a lot of plays. But then again, when you had Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly on the field, and then you just drafted Shaq Thompson, it's tough to get him on the field. But you've been able to see that he's been successful at his other stops, and I'm honored to say that he's my friend. And I think, and I do believe, he changed his last name to honor his late father as a representation of who he wanted to be. So I think he's a great player for this team, and whatever role that they fit him in, I think he's going to make a lot of plays.
So you were just talking through that long bomb, Walker to Hyman, as if the DB didn't get burned on that play. I see what you did there.
You know, I got to show some love to the DBs. You never want a wide receiver on top of you. Everything you want to do is be able to keep it in front of you. But at the end of the day, this is a great learning tool, and I know he was young, so he's going to be able to learn from that. But you want to see your guys be able to compete at the highest level, and right now, the offenses are finding their holes.
Yeah, a lot to like about P.J. Walker. We'll talk about him in a second. Right now, with the Panthers' #1 draft choice, Derrick Brown. Here is our Kristen Balboni downstairs.
That's right, Derrick. I appreciate you joining me. I know you just got off the field. Thank you for doing this.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
So it might be weird to think, but in any other normal season, you would have just finished your 2nd preseason game, getting ready for your 3rd. So in this strange season, how have Coach Rhule and Coach Snow tried to simulate that game atmosphere as much as possible for you?
We practice hard every day. We get out here, we have a bunch of team periods added to practice. Really, the whole practice being team period, like a scrimmage. It's been one of those things, you know, just been good to adapt to the game, being able to stay out there and be able to go through long drives, be able to take those long-winded times, you know, really find out what you're made about.
Now that you're going up against professional offensive linemen every snap of every day, what's the biggest difference between those college O-linemen and the pros?
They're a lot smarter, man. They try to figure out what's come before. I mean, they try to work a lot smarter and harder.
So for the Panthers fans who haven't seen you play professionally yet, that's still a few weeks away, what are you best at?
You know, I think my game has a lot of different parts. I think I'm best at being able to work hard and being able to try to amplify my game every single week.
So has it hit you yet? I just said, you know, 3 weeks away from that game. Has it hit you that in about 3 weeks you'll be standing here playing your first professional football game?
I mean, yeah. Ever since we reported in, you know, this is the moment we've been waiting for. So, you know, just like college, you know, going through the preparation and getting to the game. I mean, that's the most anticipated time of the year, getting to that first game. It's about what you do after that to keep it going uphill instead of rolling downhill.
And finally, I got to ask you, I got to talk to you on draft night. Then we got to do an entire rookie Zoom with the rest of your draft class. How are your guys doing?
Man, these guys are a lot of fun. You know, everybody's got their different personality, but it's good to have people like that. You know, we look out for each other, you know, no matter when it comes to whatever. I don't know, man. We just kind of grew closer to the draft class, and, you know, we hope we can see all 7 of us make the 53-man roster, so we'll see.
Derrick, thank you for taking the time. We're going to send it back up to Mick and Kurt in the booth.
And if you just saw that was a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. And what you saw there is we call it a dagger concept. The number 2 runs straight down the field to clear the safety, and they're running the dig over top. And what you have to do is, as that nickel piece, you have to be able to sit in that window. As a 3rd and 10, that is a very high percentage win for the defense, and you got to be able to get off the field on that.
3rd and 10's hard to pick up offensively, but offense doing a nice job there. And you just saw all the folks you didn't see all of them, but you saw some of the many that are joining us tonight in the Coke Fan and Celebrity Online Coke Team Room. So you talked earlier about Trey Boston. You can't really see it, but he trusts us that he's number 33. 12 years of hair growth has obscured the number, but what does he bring to the Panthers secondary, Kurt?
Well, I said first, he is the cornerstone of this defense right now, of the secondary. And I am happy that he is the new CEO of Thieves Avenue. He has to be that playmaker for this secondary in order to be productive as a defense. And obviously, he has to be a great communicator. But the number one thing that I love about Trey is his energy to the game. He's going to uplift anybody around him. You don't care what kind of situation it is. If you have leaders like Trey and like Shaq, those guys are going to bring the energy on every single play, no matter what the situation calls for, and they're going to be able to lift you up even if you're down.
To be an effective leader in the NFL, does that player first need to play at a high level?
I think that's where you garner a lot of respect You know, you hope that the respect is when you walk in through the door, but the reality is you have to be able to make some plays for guys to look at you and really respect you. And I say Trey Boston has done it throughout his whole career. He's been on 3 different teams, but every single spot he's been on, he's been very, very successful. And for the Carolina Panthers, I mean, you saw it last year and you saw it before. He has been very successful in the deep center field. He's able to make a lot of plays. He's very rangy, and he's a smart, hard physical tackler.
P.J. Walker from a crowded pocket gets it out of there for a completion. Brian Burns looking on.
That was a really good throw, and it's gonna. That would be. I got to bring the umps out. We have to see if that was a first down or not. But Shaq did a great job of forcing him to the sideline. He's in his hip pocket. At the end of the day, sometimes those guys get paid too, and they got to make the play.
Philip Walker, P.J. Walker, was with the Houston Rough Riders in the XFL before they got shut down. And he played great. He had good numbers, took care of the football.
He was the talk of the town, I felt like. When you were watching the XFL for however many weeks that it was up and going, he was one of the stars of the league, and he did it on a consistent basis. I think he threw 4 or 5 touchdowns several games, and he was able to lead his team to several wins. And there's a reason why he was one of the few guys that were able to do the transfer from XFL to the NFL.
15 touchdowns, 4 picks with Houston. It's Panthers practice all access, and it continues next.
Crossover Roofing is so good at roofing, it's easy to forget they do a lot more. Mary Jane and her team can transform the look of your home with all new windows, doors, siding, and even gutters. Talk to the pros that know more than just roofing. Crossover Roofing. Talk to us.
Maybe you've heard that you won't be able to purchase Freon for your air conditioning system very soon, and that you may have to purchase a new unit altogether. Don't be misled by other companies trying to force you to make a new purchase too soon. We at Central Carolina Air Conditioning will continue to carry R22 Freon and service your older system. In fact, we want to cover your system with our Policy of Assurance service agreement, and will maintain that system until the time is right to upgrade to a newer R410A system. We also understand that some repairs on your older system may not be cost effective, and that it may be time for a new system. To help you with your decision, we are offering up to $2,300 to buy back your older system. For over 50 years, we have served the Piedmont Triad with honesty and integrity, and we will tell you which path is right for you. Give us a call or go to our website at ccair.com/Freon for more information.
Welcome to the tribe. The Texas Pete tried and true. We're bonded together, one beloved dash at a time, with just the right amount of heat, never overpowering, and always ready to proclaim to those seeking sauce nirvana. So, add some flavor to the world and give them some Pete. Texas Pete, sauce like you mean it.
At Green Mountain Gringo, we're all about a good-looking backside. That's why we make our salsa from nothing but all-natural ingredients, like ripe tomatoes, jalapeno peppers, and fresh garlic, and never a single preservative. So, pick up a jar of Green Mountain Gringo salsa today, and be sure to check out our good-looking backside.
This is a good-looking backside.
Green Mountain Gringo. Check out our backside.
Being involved in an accident can lead to lasting injury. Sometimes it can take days or even weeks before you know the full extent of your injury. You may have thought you really didn't need an attorney or could handle your claim on your own. But now you're facing medical bills, lost time from work, and dealing with the insurance company. Don't be overwhelmed. Call Daggett Schuler right now. We'll talk with you for free and help you get the maximum recovery. And we don't get paid until you do. You can depend on Daggett Schuler.
If you're looking for a great deal on windows and siding, talk to us. Right now, buy 5 windows, get 1 free from Crossover Roofing. Plus, free installation with a vinyl siding install. Call us for a free quote today. Talk to the pros that know more than just roofing. Crossover Roofing.
Nothing beats Gatorade.
I need a 2.
Beautiful night in Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium. And it is Panther practice all access. It's Mick Mixon and Kurt Coleman upstairs. Jim Zoki's in the gallery, and Kristen Balboni is in the Bank of America interview zone with Shaq Thompson.
Where I'm looking at, over here.
Sorry, we were in a little bit of a dead spot there. My mistake. I've got Shaq Thompson right here with me. Thank you for joining us during practice.
Appreciate that.
Well, before we get to football, I do want to talk to you about something that Coach Rhule mentioned to me and everyone watching this broadcast before we started talking to him. Talked about the meeting that you guys had with the continuing social unrest today, and how a lot of emotions are very raw right now, but the decision was ultimately made to come out and practice. And I just wanted to know how you and the team are feeling.
It's just something that's going on in this world. It's good to talk about, and Coach Rhule did a great job bringing it up in team meetings today and addressing it as a team. And it's something that weighs heavy on our hearts, and we're going to do something as an organization going on. And it was tough to decide to come out here and practice, but we know it was the right thing to do, and we came out here to practice for the fans and for ourselves.
Absolutely, and thank you for sharing that with me. Now, as we go back to football in this practice, new defense for you, new coaches, new scheme. How does this defense under Coach Snow fit you?
Coach Snow is just bringing back the way to play football, about schemes and just stuff like that, and just running to the ball. That's his biggest thing, is running to the ball, no solo tackles, all game tackles, and playing how football used to be played, hard and physical.
On the other side of the ball, you're going up against Joe Brady's offense every day. How much has that impressed you, and what have you seen from it?
Man, it helped a lot. Joe's a great offensive coordinator, offensive mind coach, and he's giving us plays that we're definitely going to see in our conference and within other teams, and just hitting us hard, making sure we're seeing different formations and stuff like that, different personnels, and getting us ready.
I just had a chance to talk to Derrick Brown. He came over here a minute ago. That rookie draft class, all defense, historic draft class. You're now one of the elder statesmen on this team. How have you taken on a mentoring role for those guys?
I'm just trying to be here for these guys, really, and just let them know that we're going to need them to step up big this year. Don't play as a rookie, play as a vet. And just come out here and have fun. It's football that you've been playing, and we love to have them. Glad they're here, and we can't wait for them to see them work.
All right, thank you so much, Shaq. Now head back up to the booth with Mick.
Appreciate that.
Well, I'll tell you what, the two things that I heard most out of Shaq was this defense is going to play hard and be physical. And that's what you've seen so far, and they're playing fast. And I'll tell you what, one of the hardest things to do as a defender is have solo tackle after solo tackle after solo tackle. When you know your next guy is running to the ball with you, getting ready to make that tackle, it's going to make that game so much easier to play for one-on-ones.
Down to the gallery we go, Kurt, where Jim Zoki is live with the president of the Carolina Panthers, Tom Glick. All
right, Mick, thanks, and Kurt as well. And Tom, the gallery, it's a beautiful place. You've been sitting here watching practice. Hard to believe there's going to be a football game here in just about 2.5 weeks. But your impressions of kind of the newest edition of Bank of America Stadium?
First off, we've been hungry for this. It's so great. We've been around training camp for a few weeks, but to be back in the stadium with the team is amazing. We have been focused on this area, the gallery where we are. It's magnificent. I can't be objective. We've been a part of building it, but we did do it uniquely for the NFL. We're in the lounge space in the middle here. The private spaces to our right, just behind you, are the individual suites, and that has a view right into the player corridor. So you have the full view of the Panthers' journey on game day. And then if we go out here to our left, we're literally on the playing field. So it's just an amazing space. There's been lots of end zone suites in the NFL. I think these are the best. And we're just having fun spending time down here watching practice tonight.
It's been great, and we'll see about fans in the future. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but the league as a whole has done a good job with the protocols for COVID testing. You think about the NBA in a bubble, the NHL in 2 hubs. For a league that's out here playing tackle football, I mean, very, very low numbers here in the NFL for positive tests.
Yeah, it's been impressive, and we're all counting on each other. The Panthers are counting on every other team. We have a whole season to play. And it's been really impressive, and we're one of a handful of teams that have had 0 positive tests amongst our players. So it's like anything else. Everything else is just part of our daily routine. The discipline has been fantastic. I think it's been very well planned, but it takes that attention to detail from our players and coaches, and it's a team sport. So we're accountable for each other, and we're accountable for our teammates, and we just have to keep it up now. But I've been really impressed.
Well, it's an exciting time for Charlotte because, as you know, we've got football, then there's football. And Charlotte now with the FC, it's exciting. You've got the name, you've got the brand, you've got the crest, you've even got a player at this point. Since all that announcement, what's been going on? What are some of the new things with soccer?
Well, we've been very fortunate. There's been a ton of excitement, even though we set a new timeline. So March of 22, we'll be standing here watching warm-ups for our first soccer match. But the gear is flying off the shelves. We have new designs and new gear coming. So that's been setting records, which is impressive and gives us a lot of excitement and confidence about how well received this club has been and will be. Seat deposits are growing rapidly, and for those who've made deposits and are about to, we'll begin the selection process later this fall. So all of our new soccer fans of Charlotte Football Club will be able to pick out their seats right here at the stadium, which is going to be great. And our academy has started playing, and these are some of the best young players in North and South Carolina. We started 2 age groups, under 14s and under 17s, and we have their games program now that has begun. And this is a hugely important part of what we're doing, because we'll bring the best players from around the country and the world here to Charlotte, but we also have some of the best talent right here in our region, and so helping them to develop as players is a really important part of what we do. And we may see a couple of these 15, 16, 17-year-olds in our academy who'll be ready by the time we kick off, and it'll be fun to follow their progress.
Tom, great news. Thank you for sharing all that with us. Tom Glick, team president. So guys, NFL, MLS, it's all coming. It's all happening.
The bunker suites, as the Panthers are working on some red zone stuff. First they had to do the demolition. This is brought to you by Lowe's. Track loaders, backhoes, skid steers, a crane, and then the gallery started to take shape.
Isn't it amazing that when you run these time lapse, you get to see everything? When you look at it now, it looks amazing, as if it's been there forever, but obviously there's a lot of people that went into that, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and capital that went into that. But I know that's going to be such an amazing experience for anybody that gets a chance to go down there. And if you do, you can reach out to me and I'll come with you.
It's nice of you. The philanthropic spirit of Kurt Coleman. So red zone efficiency is such a key stat. Here are the Panthers last year. The Panther offense in the red zone, how do those numbers hit you?
Well, I think the number one thing that you look at is they got to the red zone, but you're not getting enough touchdowns. They're right there in the middle of the pack. So the one thing that you have to be able to do is obviously get down there is the number one thing. But when you get down there, you have to be able to score. And the first thing I saw, they ran a play where they had a bunch formation with 2 tight ends, and they ran all go. And they hit Manhurts wide open as a touchdown, and he ended up dropping it. You have to be able to capitalize on that. And that's the most important thing. Is when you get down there, field goals are not enough on offense. You have to be able to get 7 points.
Red Zone Stats brought to you by Bojangles, the official tailgating and tea partner of the Carolina Panthers. Anytime is Bo time.
The great thing, too, I believe, is with Joe Brady, and the one thing that I saw with what he was able to do with the Saints is you're going to get a lot of opportunities. And the number one thing that Sean Payton used to always say when you get down the red zone, get a first down.
There's the defense, Kurt.
Yes, the defense is some area that they are definitely going to have to improve. And like I said, they've addressed it. Now it's about refining everything, honing down on the thing. And when you get closer down in the red zone, everything's coming at you horizontally. You can't push the routes downfield. So as a defender, as a DB, as a linebacker, everything's coming across the field. And you have to be able to play quick. You're asking that D-line to get back there and make a play.
Let's bring in a former Panther quarterback and NFL legend. We'll do that right after this play. Steve Beuerlein played for 6 NFL teams, 5 years here in the Carolinas, 96 through 2000. Retired as a Panther. Pro Bowl 1999, and his home, I believe, is in Hollywood, California. Is that where you are tonight, Steve?
Oh, no, I'm not. I don't live in Hollywood. That's where I was born, Mick. And so even though I like to feel like I am one of the more well-known celebrities in California, I'm really not. And I live in Orange County now, so I'm not a Hollywood guy at all. It's just where I was born.
Not in the 90210 or whatever that is.
Not in the 90210. No, not me.
Steve, you spent a lifetime studying this game and playing it at the highest levels. What excites you most about the Carolina Panthers 2020 version?
Well, I think the thing that excites me the most, and I'm going to be honest, I'm excited to see what this team is going to look like. I really don't know how Matt Rhule is going to set up his overall philosophy. You obviously can't rely on what was successful in college to a full extent at the NFL level. I know they're going to run some variation of their spread offense that was very successful down there for several years in college. But we all know that in the NFL, if you want to be successful, you want to be one of the top teams in the league, you've got to have that run threat. You've got to be able to get the tough yards and short yardage and goal line situations. You've got to have a physical element to the way that you play the game if you want to be successful. And what I really am excited about, though, is in the one area that I felt like the Panthers have been neglecting over the last several years was wide receiver. And I really like the moves that they've made, obviously along with bringing in Teddy Bridgewater, which I think was a great acquisition. I thought it was the absolutely right call to bring in Teddy Bridgewater once they made the decision to let Cam Newton go. And I think Teddy is going to be a real stable, real consistent performer for him. And whether he can take him all the way with the talent around him right now, I don't know if that's going to be the case. But I think he's going to be a good, solid, consistent quarterback. And I love them going out and picking up Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel and Seth Roberts to go along with DJ Moore. I think you now have a lot of guys on the field with big play potential that can really do some damage in a hurry. And I like that speed element and the big play element now that the Panthers have brought into their offense to go along with who we all know is going to be featured. That's that guy right there, Christian McCaffrey. So I think it has the potential to be a pretty exciting offense, and I'm excited about that.
You sounded Steve Beuerlein with us live. Even though Christian McCaffrey plays on the East Coast now with his time at Stanford and all, is he a big deal on the West Coast?
Oh, heck yeah, he is. He played up at Stanford. He's really a Colorado boy, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but when I played for the Broncos, my last team, Christian McCaffrey Ed McCaffrey's dad became one of my best friends in Denver. And, we got to know Christian and his three brothers, Max and Luke and Dylan, over those years. And we had a lot of fun watching the McCaffreys grow up. So I know Christian really well. In fact, I got a great picture on my phone of Christian when he was about 6 years old, sitting with my daughter, who was 4 years old at the time, on the beach. And my daughter had a crush on him back then, and she still does, probably like every girl in the Carolinas does now. But I know Christian very well, and what a great family they are, and really excited about what he's proven he can do at this level. He's got a lot more great things ahead of him, I'm sure.
No doubt. Steve Beuerlein, thanks for joining us.
You got it, guys. Take care.
Thank you. You too. Be well. NFL News presented by Harrah's Cherokee Casinos, two great places to come and play. Well, Kansas City, what do you think about them this year possibly repeating, Kirk?
Obviously, they're going to reload. They have Patrick Mahomes, so that's going to be something great and something awesome to watch this year. But will Tom Brady be able to take the special effect that he had in New England down to Tampa Bay? I think they have a great up-and-coming team. But obviously, Mike McCarthy, a guy that was able to win the Super Bowl up in Green Bay, will he be able to bring that expertise and that leadership down to Dallas?
Be interesting to see. The Panthers took a look at him for the head coaching job before settling on Matt Rhule. The 2020 season is coming, less than 3 weeks away. We'll tell you about tickets here in just a second. Special teams, though, very important as Carolina looks for someone. That's Marcon Michel, who can provide a sock in the return game. But anyway, game suite rentals, single game suite rentals are available if capacity allows. And if you're interested in becoming a PSL owner starting in 2021, there are opportunities available for you. Interest-free payment plans for PSLs and season tickets. Come be a part of Carolina Panther football. Back with more All Access Live presented by Daimler in just a second. First, this word from your local Panther station.
Fast pain relief. That's the power of Goody's powder. And we made Goody's fast, Goody's delicious. Goody's Cool Orange. One more way Goody's puts the squeeze on tough pain. Also try new Goody's Hangover Powder.
Safe and easy. That's the way we do it at 31dodge.tv. Buying a new car at 31dodge.tv is as simple as turning on your computer or picking up the phone.
31dodge.tv, home of safe and easy. Easy to get the price, easy to get the payment, easy to get the car. Over 2,000 vehicles to choose from, all with the lowest research price and a 500-mile radius.
Safe, easy, lowest price, lowest payment. Turn on your computer, click 31dodge.tv, or pick up the phone, call 888-31-DODGE.
During the summer clearance event.
Lisa, this is a message from the Sheetz Curbside Broadcast System. Use your Sheetz app, Lisa. Order dinner for you and Jeff and the kids. And throw in your favorite chips and soda. Why not? Good curbside handoff. Sweet job, everyone. The Sheetz Curbside Broadcast System thanks you. Sheetz run and done.
Order on the app to be entered in the Daily Grand Sweepstakes. Official rules at Sheetz.com.
It's Big Brands Bonus Month at NTB with rebates up to $100 on Goodyear, Continental, Cooper, Nitto, and more. Plus, use your store credit card and get an additional $75 mail-in rebate on purchases of $500 or more at NTB.
Make the most of summer with Ford, America's best-selling brand, during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Shop our huge lineup of SUVs and the largest selection of truck inventory to choose from. And get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. The Ford Summer Sales Event, helping you make the most out of summer. Now get a 2020 F-150 with 0 for 72 or up to $10,185 in total savings during the Summer Sales Event. Only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
When water is filtered through 10,000-year-old glacial aquifers that make it rich with naturally occurring electrolytes, it has a crisp taste like no other. Poland Spring origin, born in Maine. From the earth, for the better.
This time tomorrow, where will we be?
Day trips are better than daydreams. Experience the adventure of a bigger world in a highly capable Lexus SUV. Visit your local Lexus dealer in person or online for exceptional offers at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Get 0% financing on the 2020 NX 300.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Need to be working to the max? BC Max. Need to be dad to the max? BC Max. New BC Max in great tasting lemonade. Nothing stronger on pain without a prescription. Be your best. New BC Max.
Carolina Panthers football is brought to you by Daimler, the leading commercial vehicle manufacturer in the U.S. By Coke, official fan refreshment of the Carolina Panthers. By Gatorade, fueled by Gatorade. And by Atrium. You deserve to live your best life, and Atrium Health is here to help.
They're waving at Panther fans, cameras and monitors all around the building. That's Matt Rhule in the middle with the sunglasses on, head coach of the Panthers. As the whole team just gave a nod to Panther fans. NFL season is about to begin, and you can be sure to get your newly updated merchandise at the newly updated online store at shop.panthers.com. Stock up your closet with Panther gear.
I'm excited for what we're about to see in this last period. This is a 2-minute drill. The guys need to be on the page, and at the end of the day, you have to be able to win your rap.
Good on good. One offense, the black jersey defense, the starters.
And that was some of the screen game that you saw them working on earlier in practice.
Closed captioning for the Panthers television network tonight provided by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates. Providing premier eye and ENT care to North and South Carolina.
Two things that I just saw right there is with Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel, they ran a 87 combination where Robbie was able to take the top off of the defense, and then Curtis was able to run a 7 route. In a 2-minute situation, two things. You can't give up big plays, and you can't let them get out of bounds. And on that time, they were able to give up both.
Here's the structure of this, and it's predetermined. 1:35 on the clock. Offense needs a field goal. 1 timeout remaining, and you start from the minus 12-yard line. So from their own 12, the offense has worked out to the 35 with more work yet to do. and 37 seconds remaining.
And this is where you have to understand, is this the first half or is this the second half? Because in those two situations, it's still 2-minute drill, but those two situations, you need to know, am I going for 3 points or do I need to score to win? Everything is about a situation football. And I like that Coach Rhule is actually putting them in all these stressful situations to understand everything. It's not just one piece of the game. It's not just the call or the down and distance. It is the full game and the situation of this.
Clock at 1:07 now for this drill. Remember, the offense needs a field goal. Bridgewater right flat to Davis, and he scoots out of bounds. Special teams an important part of football, of course, and Miller Lite brings us this check of special teams. Great taste and only 96 calories.
Yeah, the great thing is, first off, it starts off with your snapper. You don't hear about him too much unless he's making a bad snap. J.J. Jansen, I got something on him. He is tied for third most of the all-time snaps as a player here in the Carolina Panthers. So that is something special to have somebody consistent that understands. But when you have Joey, who I think he tied for the most record with Morton Anderson. Anytime you get to tie with somebody that's a Hall of Fame kicker with the most kicks over 50-plus yards, you're doing something great. He just needs to be continually consistent throughout his time throughout the season.
What about punter? It seems as though there's Joey Sly there. It seems as though the Panthers may be a little unsettled there right now with Charlton, and then having Corey Vedvik having been brought in to compete with Joe Charlton.
Well, they say competition brings out the best in you, and you'll find out who wants it the most. And at the end of the day, you need to figure out who's the most consistent. He doesn't have to be an all-pro punter. Obviously, that would be great to find, but you need to find somebody that is consistent, reliable, that you know that he's going to punt the ball in the spot that you need him to do. Because at the end of the day, when your coverage team is going down in their lanes, they need to know where that football is being played so they can go and make a play.
We'll pay attention to this drive. It's an important drill, but also, Kurt, we want your comments on the regular season schedule brought to you by our friends at Atrium Health.
When you look at
this,
this,
September, what jumps out?
Tampa Bay right away. I want to see who's going to win this division, and at the end of the day, if you win your division, you're putting yourself in a position to go to the playoffs.
October will feature 5 games. We'll let you see that in a moment. With the clock stopped at 50 seconds and the offense trying to get in position for a field goal. Bridgewater back to work.
The defense is doing a great job right now is keeping everything in front of them. After the play that they gave it to Curtis Samuel, they've kept everything in front of them. Although you want to be able to tackle the ball inbounds so the clock runs just right there. With right there, you have the clock running. Now they're in a hurry-up mode. They don't have timeouts to burn. They have to be able to clock the ball, spike the ball, get the ball down so they can either bring out the field goal team or continue to run plays.
No defensive lineman for this drill. So here's October. 5 games in this month for the Panthers. Be pretty rugged.
Yeah, when you look at it, though, it's going to be a rugged schedule throughout the whole season. But then again, I'm going to keep going back to the division games. And then obviously right here in November, you got Kansas City. That's going to be a marquee game. If you want to be the champ, you have to beat the champ. And then you're going to finish with New Orleans. That's going to be a great, great Sunday on January 3rd.
Bye week doesn't come till December. Let's go to Matt Rhule, head coach of the Panthers. He's downstairs live with Kristen Balboni.
Coach, we appreciate you joining us to wrap up practice. You said you wanted it to feel like a game. How did this practice feel to you?
You know, there's a lot of energy in the stadium, even for not having everyone at home here with us. I thought the guys have competed really well. I mean, it's been a hard practice going in and out of drills, finishing up now. I'm interested to see how this 2-minute drive ends. But I thought it was a good day's work. Guys working well against each other, protecting each other.
Well, I know you want to get back to that 2-minute drive, but I do want to ask you about the importance of the fans getting to see this since they can't be here in person.
Well, we're really proud of how hard we worked. And we love our fans. We love the people that support us. And, you know, I know there's a bunch of kids out there that are staying up late to watch this tonight. I know there's a bunch of fans that, you know, love this team and love the Carolina Panthers. So I hope they're proud of the way we're working. We're not a finished product. We got a long way to go. But I thought tonight was pretty clean in a lot of areas.
Yeah, we appreciate you letting us getting to watch it. So thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you so much.
All right, back up to the booth.
Ball hadn't been on the ground that much, and pretty good ball security. And how do you feel, Kurt, about the cleanliness of the execution tonight?
Well, I thought the offense looked really really clean and crisp. Teddy's done a great job of facilitating the football. He knows where to go, and if you need to drop it off to Christian McCaffrey, drop it off to your outlet backs. They're going to get you some yards, and that's how you continue to make drives and move drives along, and you're going to be able to get the points. I thought this 2-minute drive was really special. I thought the defense responded well. They gave up a big play to Curtis Samuel, but to be able to respond and not give it much yardage after that, and now it looks like it's a 4th down situation. I don't know if they're kicking a field goal or not, but what you want to look at it is if they go for it on 4th down, which I hope they do. I want to see who wants this 4th down. I want to see who's going to win.
It would be a 50-yarder from here. So let's see. I think they're going to go for it. 4th down and a couple.
I love it. You put the hands in your quarterback. You got to trust him. You have to be put in these tough situations. And if you need a 1st down, you got to go get it. Now you have to understand there's 13 seconds on the clock. So anybody that does catch it, you have to be able to get down fast so you can go down and spike the ball.
Offense draped in around Teddy Bridgewater for the 4th down play.
So what you see right now is they're coming out in empty, and they put the running back out at 1. So that exposes, are you in man or are you in zone? And as you just saw, the linebacker, Adarius, is now working with a lot of guys. They were working a combo combination. Now, as a D-line, that is the worst thing you can do. On 4th down, give them an automatic free down.
Yeah, Brian Burns bailed him out.
And that's that speaks to some of the youth, though, and you know, they're going to grow throughout that, and that's something that you're going to work through. I mean, Brian Burns, I thought he played very well last year with the limited time that he got. I mean, he wasn't a full-time starter, and he was still very, very productive. I think 2nd all-time in the Panthers' history for sacks. So he's done some remarkable things in his short time here. Those things, though, those are unforced penalties that you cannot give up, especially in a crucial situation.
Give the offense a fresh series of downs. No time elapsed off the clock. So now Bridgewater can try to get in closer for Joey Slye.
You just work to get a little bit closer. You don't have to get a touchdown. Just work to get a little bit closer. Now, as he's working back, the clock should be running. I don't know if they have a timeout or not, but if they do, you spike it, and you get the field goal team out there to make the 3 points.
Kurt Coleman, I think we're going to just have enough time on Panthers television to see if this field goal attempt is good or not.
I hope so. I mean, the offense worked hard to get all the way down the field, and I think the fans deserve to see who's going to be able to get this.
We may have to get out before the field goal attempt, but the offense did its job. They worked on into position, and we hope you liked what you saw. Your first look of the 2020 Carolina Panthers under the direction of new head coach Matt Rhule.
They really look clean and crisp, like Coach Rhule had said. I think there's so much optimism and things that they can look forward to.
For Kurt Coleman, Kristen Balboni, Jim Zoki, and our crew, this is Mick Mixon saying you've been watching Panthers Practice All Access live.
Need quick professional tree service? Ingram Tree Service is one of the Triad's top rated, specializing in tree removal, trimming, topping, stump grinding, storm damage, and grading. Call Ingram Tree Service today for a free estimate.
I'm an Air Force Academy graduate, and I served my country for over a decade. Amy Gailey is desperate to attack me for using a VA loan to buy my home. Her lies are an assault on anyone who served our country. But she can't cover up her role in cutting education funding or chasing away local jobs. Amy should know, we don't need lies attacking my service. We need good schools for our children and good paying local jobs. And that's the truth I'll bring to Raleigh.
Our seniors that are being hit the hardest, they're frightened. And I want them to know that their health and safety will be my responsibility if I'm your president. And I'll have from day one, ready to go, the best medical experts and scientists to advise on our response. And I will not abandon you. It's a simple proposition, folks. We're all in this together. We got to fight this together. We'll emerge from this stronger because we did it together. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Summer's almost over, and so are the huge savings at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event. But there's still time to score great deals on every SUV and sedan, including more 2020 IIHS Top Safety Awards than Honda or Toyota. Plus, get complimentary maintenance and America's best warranty. Epic Summer Savings, now through Labor Day, only at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR with no payments for 90 days, or get up to $3,250 in savings on the Tucson. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Need quick professional tree service? Ingram Tree Service is one of the Triad's top rated, specializing in tree removal, trimming, topping, stump grinding, storm damage, and grading. Call Ingram Tree Service today for a free estimate